In Missouri, a state sick leave mandate is now in effect, but legislators are still working to change it. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Search for a suspected shooter after reports of gunfire in Frontenac. What we know so far.
PSU social worker students showcase their various activities they've been doing throughout the community. I'm Lonnie Walton in Pittsburgh. I'll have that story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Lawmakers push forward legislation to replace paid sick leave mandates by voters last fall. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Last week, the state implemented a mandated accrual of paid sick leave in Missouri. But now legislators are hoping to pass a bill to change that law. KOAM's Samantha Walker has the details on their efforts.
Since Missouri voters passed Proposition A in November, there have been challenges from groups who don't want to see it implemented.
Workplace policy decisions are really left between an employer and an employee and should not be mandated by the government.
A legal challenge was even brought to the Missouri Supreme Court, with testimony arguing the text of Prop A didn't follow proper election rules. In late April, the court upheld the proposition, saying the court found, quote, there was no election irregularity and the election results are valid.
I would like to see it just go into place and be a sign of progress that at least something in the Missouri democratic system still works.
The paid sick leave portion of Prop A officially took effect May 1st. Now here's what that means for eligible businesses. For employees that are working 30 hours, that means they've accrued at least 1 hour of paid sick leave. But lawmakers say that's not the end of the issue. The Missouri Chamber of Commerce is now backing efforts in legislature to change the mandates brought on by Prop A.
I think also our business community needs to hear that our elected leaders also stand with them and want to make sure that we are a state where businesses can flourish.
This is a group of people who already have a belief structure, and even when that belief structure is challenged by the will of the people, they will use their levers of power to overturn the will of the people.
House Bill 567 would replace the paid sick leave mandates established by Prop A. Currently, employers with less than 15 workers must allow workers to earn at least 40 hours per year. For larger employers, it's at least 56 hours. The bill would make the act only applicable to employers with 25 or more employees who work on average of at least 35 hours per week. Employees can't use or accrue more than 56 hours per year. The bill would also allow for the use of sick leave to be denied in circumstances where it would disrupt the employer's operations. HB 567 would allow minimum wage to increase to $15 in 2026, as voters approved, but it would no longer adjust for inflation like Prop A established.
You just wish that some of these folks in power would say, yep, you won this one, and then move on.
The bill was passed through the Missouri House in March. The state Senate will also have to pass it for it to go to the governor. Reporting in Missouri, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Missouri legislative session ends on May 16th. Those in support of House Bill 567 hope to get it to the governor's desk by then. Well, a Crawford County judge today sentences a man and woman for their roles in the fatal drug overdose of a teenager. The suspects are 39-year-old Tabitha Wilson of Pittsburgh and 47-year-old William Davis of Girard. Authorities say they had distributed fentanyl, which led to the death of 18-year-old Cooper Campiti. And the teen was found unresponsive in his Frontenac home in April of last year. Wilson gets just over 5 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter and distribution of fentanyl. Davis gets nearly 4.5 years for distribution of fentanyl. Crawford County Attorney Rena Probert says fentanyl cases are increasing in the county, and her office will continue to prosecute cases like this. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, it turned out to be a great Monday for us today after a fantastic weekend as well. Thunderstorm chances back in the forecast starting late tomorrow evening, and then periods of showers and thunderstorms a little beefier late in the day on Wednesday. Temperatures all week long are going to be fairly mild, and the weekend is shaping up pretty good. Now, tonight's going to be fine, but look at the clouds increasing, scattered showers, few thunderstorms after 3 p.m. tomorrow. Just kind of hit and miss. picking up a little bit more, especially after midnight on Wednesday night, and then right on into, or actually Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and then periods of showers and thunderstorms again on Wednesday. We don't really need the rain, but we are going to get more of it. Temperatures for us today, right about where we should be. High temp 73. We'll talk more about rain chances here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Authorities respond to a fatal crash today in Chanute. The crash happened on K39 this morning about 6 a.m. Troopers say a northbound vehicle and a southbound pickup truck collided head-on at the center line of the highway. The driver of the northbound vehicle, Teresa Phillips of Chanute, died at the scene. The driver of the truck suffered serious injuries. He was transported to KU Med Center in Kansas City. Authorities investigate reports of gunfire from a vehicle in Frontenac overnight. It happened around 10:15 last night in the 800 block of North Cayuga Street. No injuries are reported. The suspect's vehicle is described as a dark-colored Chevrolet Avalanche. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Frontenac Police Department. Pitt State social work students are stepping up and giving back, showcasing a lineup of philanthropic projects aimed at making real change in their communities. From foster care support to mental health advocacy, these students are addressing some of society's most pressing issues. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke to students who say their projects represent special moments in their lives.
I spoke with many social worker students who said they're not doing it just for the grade, but because they want to make a change.
The goal of my project was to inform as many people as I could about the healthy versus unhealthy relationship characteristics.
Mackenzie Dillon is a senior majoring in social work at PSU. She completed a project near and dear to her heart.
Dating violence and abuse in relationships, especially within college students in our community here at Pitt State.
I met a student who says she's been in 13 different foster homes. She says if she helps one person, she's done her job.
Family I was with, we went to the Wesley House and used to rely on them for food.
Now, both of these women want to help others who may go through the same experiences as they did.
I decided to work with the Wesley House for my senior project this semester. I wanted to work with the unhoused population in our community.
I wish someone would have told me this information, and so my goal was to just help as many students as I could.
And there are other projects who help support the community as well.
I did a community game night.
So I did a movie night.
I did my research on food insecurity.
All students come with one goal in mind: to make a change and not forget where they've come.
It was my resilience and my family and the support of my peers.
And I was able to reach around 120 clicks on that. So a lot of students participated, which is awesome.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The students also wrote an elevator pitch, which they practiced in class. Well, coming up, common household products could be hiding dangerous chemicals. They're called everywhere chemicals, and they're linked to heart disease. What you can do to avoid them. And researchers find higher chances of preterm birth, low birth weight, and even infant death while they use. A new study links chemicals found in many plastic products found in your home to heart disease deaths around the world. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither looks at the research and has ways you can limit your family's exposure to these chemicals.
They're often called everywhere chemicals because they're so common. Phthalates are added to products like plastic food containers, vinyl flooring, shampoo, makeup, even children's toys.
Itself is a colorless, odorless liquid that does not evaporate. Okay, so just imagine that. That's what phthalates are. That's why they're called the forever chemicals.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says these chemicals make products more durable and flexible, but a new global study found they may also have contributed to more than 10% of all global mortality from heart disease in 2018 among men and women ages 55 through 64.
350,000 deaths linked to this chemical, which I just find extraordinary because, again, we spend our whole lives eating right, exercising, doing all these things. These chemicals, for a lot of people, they just have tremendous exposure to them.
Gupta says there are ways to limit exposure to these chemicals, avoid eating out of plastics, and microwaving or warming plastics in appliances like a dishwasher. He says that can release more of these chemicals. Instead, opt for glass or stainless steel food storage containers. Also, avoid products with these chemicals, like things that have added fragrances and non-stick pots and pans. And if you do use plastics, pay attention to the type you're buying.
There's different types of plastics. You want to avoid 3, 6, and 7 specifically. Those are the plastics that have the most phthalates in them.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
A new meta-analysis in JAMA Pediatrics links marijuana use during pregnancy to serious risks for babies. Reviewing more than 50 studies with more than 21 million participants, researchers found a 52% higher risk of preterm birth and a 75% higher risk of low birth weight. The data also showed a greater chance of fetal or infant death. Despite this, marijuana use during pregnancy is on the rise, mostly in the first trimester and primarily for recreational use. Well, a new report suggests some people are not spending enough time at the sink. A new survey released Monday finds close to half of all Americans either forget or choose not to wash their hands at appropriate times. That includes after a trip to the grocery store, a restaurant, or a doctor's office. However, nearly a third of those polled said they do wash their hands more often now than they did during the COVID-19 pandemic. A survey from the National Foundation for Infectious Diseases says dirty hands can lead to the spread of germs, potentially causing illnesses. The findings are based on roughly 3,600 adults. Health officials say it takes at least 20 seconds with soap and water to get hands properly clean. Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, new rules for livestock shows in Missouri, what exhibitors must now do to prove their animals are healthy, and why some say it could get expensive.
By the Center for the Arts.
Well, definitely turned out to be a great Monday for us today. Temperatures pretty good across the region over the past few days. We've had really nice conditions, but we do have another storm system which is going to start to affect us as we go through the next several days. One system spinning the eastern third of the country, and how that is affecting us is slowing all this down. So kind of slowly working in, but we have a big upper level low. It's called a cutoff low out across southwestern parts of the U.S. blocking pattern, because this guy is blocking this guy from moving in very quickly. Plus our jet stream well to the north into parts of Canada. So these storm systems, they can't get a lot of upper level support. So we're not seeing a ton of severe weather out of these upper level lows, but they are going to produce some over the next couple days. But you can see the spin out across parts of Arizona. All right, let's go through time. So it slowly heads toward us. The closer it gets to us, we'll pick up a little bit more upper level dynamics. Our thunderstorms will become a little beefier once we get into Wednesday. Then this guy slides out of here, and then we look pretty good as we head into the weekend. Let me take you through time for us tonight. Quiet. Some mid and upper level clouds streaming in late tonight. Clouds thicken. Here's the noon hour. Lower 70s. Let's go into the afternoon. A few random showers get in here after 2 or 3 p.m. Not a big deal, just kind of hit and miss showers late afternoon into the evening hours. High temps 70 to about 72 degrees. Better chances for showers and thunderstorms increase, especially after midnight tomorrow night. Here's Wednesday morning, 1:30 in the morning, periods of showers and thunderstorms into Wednesday morning. Now, as we go into Wednesday afternoon, that upper level low gets a little bit closer to us. So our atmosphere a little bit more unstable. It's not unstable, but a little bit more. So some of these guys could be a little beefier Wednesday evening into Wednesday night. And you can just see the constant counterclockwise circulation as that area of low pressure slowly rolls over us. So tonight's going to be fine. Tomorrow morning's going to be fine. Rain chances really increase tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. Really kind of stick around as we go through the day on Wednesday. How much rain could we get? I don't think it's going to be extremely excessive, but a lot of us 1/2 inch to 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches in spots as we go through the next few days. All right, so let's look at our temperatures right now. We are looking pretty good. Most of us are sitting low to mid 60s, and it looks like our temperatures slowly drop back later on tonight. We will get into low to mid 70s for highs tomorrow with those clouds increasing and also those rain chances increasing across the region. All this stuff is out of here by Friday, so we do set ourselves up to see a pretty good weekend once again. So this is going to be 2 weekends in a row that we're going to have really nice conditions. 72 tomorrow, 66 Wednesday, near 70 on Thursday, mid 70s as we go into the weekend.
All right, should be another nice weekend.
Yeah,
a little bit
not
warmer.
bad.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Doug. New exhibition requirements are in effect for people showing livestock at local and state fairs in Missouri. Chris Bryan explains what those requirements mean for exhibitors this summer.
As an exhibitor, I want my animal to be the healthiest that it can. I care about those animals. I spend a lot of time with those. Those animals, those exhibitors are going to be out there at least for an hour or two every morning and every night, washing that animal, brushing that animal, taking care of that animal. And so we want to do the best that we can for that animal, and that includes making sure that they are healthy.
With these rules in place, the Missouri Department of Agriculture is taking a proactive step toward the prevention and tracking of diseases with the cattle and swine population. Here are the new rules. Cattle and swine projects must be identified with an official form of identification. Cattle and swine must be deemed healthy by an accredited veterinarian prior to the show. To prove the cattle and swine are healthy, those showing have two options: provide a certificate of veterinary inspection completed within the previous 30 days, or an on-site veterinarian must approve the livestock as healthy upon arrival at the exhibition. A veterinarian on-site is at the discretion of the show manager. Dr. Adam McGee with Missouri State University says the inspection cost could add up quickly for those showing, but it's about ensuring the best for the animals.
Because these are only good for 30 days, there is part of that initial cost of exhibitors may have to get multiples of these throughout the year. So some of these exhibitors may have started showing in January and would have been showing all the way up through March, April, and then they'll have another set of shows in July and August. And so they may be getting up to 6 of these a year, and that adds up over time.
Graduation season is here, but with an uncertain job market ahead, new grads may face more challenges than expected.
Nominate your four-state hero today.
Have to put a feeder out, so hummingbirds are attracted to the flowers in this. And this is a full sun basket, not shade, and you don't have to put a feeder out.
Well, all of these planters are beautiful. Do you have any more that you're going to be giving out for Mother's Day?
Well, I have. Like I said, we custom grow these. You won't find them any bigger anywhere else. We have these vines coming out the bottom.
Well, John, what about viewers that would like to get a different kind of plant, maybe not a planter? So we are a full-service garden center. We have tons of bedding plants. We have them in 6-packs. We have them in individually. Have some that like shade, some that like sun. Literally tens of thousands of plants in the garden. Now, for viewers, if they would like to come and see your selection, how can they get in contact with you? We are located in beautiful Pittsburgh, Kansas at 818 East 4th Street. It's right in the middle of town. Well, thank you so much, John, for your time. Thank you.
Rock Show's back. Free to rock your face off May 16th through 18th.
The race is on as soon-to-be college graduates make their plans to pursue various career opportunities. But current economic outlooks could be complicating their future endeavors. Fox News' Sue Guzman takes a closer look at the potential threats and what can be done to help cut through the competition.
With college graduation season drawing near, career counselors say many seniors are preparing to navigate a job market dominated by growing uncertainty.
Obviously, the tariffs have a lot to do with things.
While President Donald Trump says his tariffs will strengthen the American economy, some business experts warn they could do more than raise the cost of goods, citing the potential for companies to reevaluate their recruitment goals.
A lot of companies have pressed pause. What that means is they are waiting to see how the tariff situation is going to impact their hiring.
This unpredictability may also reduce the availability of some lower-level jobs.
A lot of people who might have been looking for promotions or other opportunities are staying put.
But in a world where more companies are using AI scanners to sort through resumes, it can be easy to get lost.
If you're sending the same resume, regardless of what the company is or what the position is, you're probably not going to hear back because you need to tailor your resume for every job that you find.
Going beyond job posting sites and networking can help you land positions that haven't been listed.
Creating those relationships with people that might be able to refer you to an opportunity that hasn't been shared with the general public.
If you are unsure where to start, try a tactic known as informational interviewing.
Find somebody that's in the role that you want to be in 5, 10, 15 years from now and say, hey, can I have 10 minutes of your time just to chat with you about your current role, how you got there?
Sue Guzman, Fox News.
When selling a home, owners have options. They can list it privately, publicly, or through the multiple listing service known as the MLS. But a growing debate is brewing over private listings. Real estate leaders argue they can be exclusionary and may undermine consumer trust in agents. One brokerage, Compass, is under fire, accused of encouraging private sales to collect commissions from both sides of the deal. Compass disputes, saying many sellers simply want privacy or to test the market first. The company says 94% of its private listings eventually go public. Up next, Missouri State Treasurer makes a stop in Joplin, why he's encouraging families to start saving now for education.
Walk out with your payout this May.
Missouri State Treasurer Vivek Malik makes a stop in Joplin today. Malik is on tour throughout the state to spread awareness about the Mo ST 529 Education Savings Plan offered by the Treasurer's Office. Today, the Economic Security Corporation's Head Start program held an event for Malik to share the benefits of investing in an educational savings plan with Joplin residents.
A voluntary program, you can start it whenever you want, but the earlier you start, better it is for you, so that you have longer time period to save that money, put in that money, which grows over time. But there is no minimum set amount. You can start with $5. You can put in any amount of money.
The Head Start program seeks to provide financial literacy classes to parents focusing on budgeting. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Cardinals gather in Rome to prepare for a historic conclave. Who's in the running to become the next pope, and what's at stake? And the Trump administration pushes a new self-deportation program with airfare and stipends. But will it work?
The Big Bang Theory, tonight at 10:30, right here on
Electric Cooperative members can count on us to rise to every challenge we face.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. This week, all eyes are back on the Vatican as the College of Cardinals prepares to meet to elect the next pope. Though some say the process should take time. Fox News chief religion correspondent Lauren Green has more.
Cardinals gathered at St. Peter's Basilica Sunday for their final night of mourning, masses honoring the late Pope Francis. Today, they are doubling up on meetings ahead of their secret conclave that begins on Wednesday. It will be the largest in history, with 133 cardinals taking part. And one says he expects it could take some time to elect the next leader of the Catholic Church.
Each of us is forming an opinion, seeing the skills and qualities of the cardinals. It takes time to choose a cardinal.
Experts say 4 cardinals are considered front-runners, but several others are in the running. And it's still too early to tell if any has the support they need to become the next pontiff.
At the
end of the day, there's one we need to discover, and the Lord has already named him in his heart, but it is a choice between a lot of beautiful and strong personalities.
Meanwhile, final preparations are taking place across Rome for the conclave. Today's support staff for all of the cardinals are being sworn into secrecy and threatened with excommunication if they violate the oath. Curtains have also been installed on the central balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, where the new pope will greet the crowd. Some faithful say they hope he follows Francis's legacy.
Pope Francis gave us an incredible legacy to follow, and I know that the Holy Spirit will be guiding the cardinals as they choose the next pope.
A 2/3 majority is needed to be elected pope, meaning the winner must secure at least 89 votes. In Rome, Lauren Green, Fox News.
A group of 18 Democratic state attorneys general led by New York filed a lawsuit today against the Trump administration. They're challenging an executive order that blocks offshore wind projects in federal waters. New York Attorney General Letitia James says the move jeopardizes billions in investments and thousands of clean energy jobs. Her office estimates wind projects in New York alone support more than 4,000 jobs, with thousands more expected as projects grow. The suit claims Trump's order directly contradicts an earlier order he signed, declaring a national energy emergency and calling for an energy surge. Well, cash and a ticket home. That's the offer on the table from the Trump administration to people living in the U.S. illegally. It's the latest strategy from the administration in its push to ramp up deportations. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more.
We're going to get them a beautiful flight back to where they came from.
In its continued push to remove people living in the U.S. illegally, the Department of Homeland Security is now offering airfare and $1,000 stipends to anyone who willingly returns to their home country. DHS says self-deportation is safer and about 70% cheaper. The agency says the process of arresting, detaining, and deporting someone can cost around $17,000. People who use the new program won't be arrested in the meantime, according to DHS.
If we think they're good, if they have, the people we want in our country, they're going to come back into our country. We'll give them a little easier route.
The new policy looks different from the deportation flights used earlier in the year to bring accused migrant gang members to a prison in El Salvador. The White House is still defending that in the courts and taking harsh criticism from the left.
I don't even want to call them deportation. They are sanctioned kidnappings in many circumstances.
I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said.
DHS says at least one person has already used their new program, using the stipend to self-deport to Honduras from Chicago. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, kids at a local school are taking on the dark side and learning some.
Our local high school student athletes have less and less time remaining in the 2024-25 school year. And this afternoon at Pittsburgh High School, one Purple Dragon makes his plans for the future official. Pittsburgh High School senior Jet Burgess signs a letter of intent today to play baseball at McPherson College. The future Bulldog has faced more than his fair share of difficulties in his recruiting journey. Burgess missed a large portion of his junior year due to an elbow injury that he's still battling back from right now.
That summer, so it's tough knowing I wasn't going to be able to. So during the winter, once I started to get back to work and get into bullpens and stuff, that's when I started posting videos and reaching out to coaches, letting them know about the injury. And, thankfully Coach Dawson, trusted me and wanted me out there.
This morning, the entire 64-team field gets released for the NCAA Division II softball tournament. Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State both enter the day hoping to hear their name get called. And that is exactly the case for Missouri Southern. The Lions celebrate this morning as they receive the number 6 seed in the Central region of the NCAA tournament. Pittsburgh State softball makes it in as well as we show you the full bracket for the NCAA Central region. Gorillas are the 5 seed. They're headed to Edmond, Oklahoma for the regional hosted by Central Oklahoma. Lions, on the other hand, they're going down to Southern Arkansas, who hosts the other Central Regional. Missouri Southern's first game is against 3 seed Augustana. That'll be Thursday afternoon at 3, and this is the only meeting of the year between these two teams. Vikings are currently riding a 21-game winning streak. Now, the format of an NCAA tournament regional is double elimination, so only one of these 4 teams will remain. Their group also includes Southern Arkansas and Harding. Pittsburgh State's first game in its regional is against the team who just knocked out the Gorillas from the MIAA tournament this past weekend. That would be Rogers State, who not only beat the Gorillas on Friday, but also twice in the regular season. Top-seeded Central Oklahoma and 8th seed Minnesota State, they round out the group of 4. And in the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder are back in action tonight. Paycom Center is the site for Game 1 of their second-round playoff series. OKC comes in with 8 days of rest, compared to just 1 for Denver, who's fresh off a Game 7 victory over the Clippers on Saturday. And as we come on the air, they're closing in on halftime, and the Thunder hold a 14-point lead. It's 60-46 with just about a minute left in the second quarter. This series features a couple of league MVP hopefuls. That's Nuggets center Nikola Jokic, who already has a double-double with 14 points and 10 rebounds. Meanwhile, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, just as good for OKC. He's already got 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists already. Back to some of the softball that I was talking about. Always a good moment when both Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State make it in. Both of them have more than a good shot to win their regional, too. I think they're both playing pretty well heading into the tournament.
And will they eventually have to play each other then?
If they both win their regionals, they would play against each other, yes.
Wow, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Fun to watch. Proud of both of them, though.
Yeah.
We're back with more news after this. The first Star Wars film debuted in 1977, and its influence is still being felt. Children at a Minnesota elementary school who were born decades after the first movie appeared on the big screen are still learning lessons from the legendary franchise. Sammy Solina reports.
Bus A! Bus A! A long time ago, in a school not so far, far away.
That was a good trick.
Students have plenty of options for their after-school program. Check. Chess.
It's just like using your brain.
Art.
Are you satisfied and happy with your drawing?
Or
Next, ask if your fighters are ready.
Training to fight the Sith Lord.
Good versus bad with swords that can cut you in half.
Randolph Heights Elementary School offers lightsaber fencing through community education after school classes.
I get to hang out with my friends. Personally, Star Wars is, I really like Star Wars.
I wanted to join it because it was the best out of everything else.
Yes.
You two are going to fight, and I'm going to ref over here.
Coach Walker, no relation to Skywalker, knows how it looks.
At first glance, it does seem like just a, beat 'em up sport.
But he says there's more to it.
One of the biggest things that we learn in this class is that self-restraint. Because you can't just go in there and, you need to know when to wait. You need to know when to strike.
Ready.
Braden Walker says his class is kind of like the movies themselves. Chaos on the surface,
All right.
with some deeper lessons.
It doesn't come down to Luke beating Vader with a lightsaber. And I think so much of Star Wars is about connection and about connecting to others. And I think that's why it's lasted so long.
Don't forget to tuck in mask.
Lessons they will take with them, not just force.
May the Force be with you.
Well, this week on Fox, the Masked Singer finale, true crime thrills with America's Most Wanted, dramatic face-offs on the cleaning lady, and the Next Level Chef semifinals. Plus romance plumes on Farmer Wants a Wife. All that and more up next. The Masked Singer finalists take the stage, and the Next Level Chef contenders take on a famous dish. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with a look at what's on Fox TV this week.
The competition is on. I feel it in the air.
A Masked Singer finale is part of what's hot on Fox.
There is absolutely still hope that he's out there.
First, Monday starts with the event series America's Most Wanted Missing Persons, with a panel of experts analyzing and investigating cases with the help of viewers as armchair detectives. Then viewers again are asked to follow the leads on an all-new episode of America's Most Wanted hosted by John and Callahan Walsh.
Have you calmed down?
Tuesday on The Cleaning Lady, Tony and Ramona face off as Tony tries calling the shots.
Find April.
Following that unalert missing persons unit, a woman is kidnapped when shopping for an engagement ring, and the MPU suspects her boyfriend or his father.
What do I have to do?
Wednesday is the 2-hour season 13 finale of The Masked Singer. The final 4 will battle it out, and one will win the Golden Mask Trophy.
You okay with that?
Yes, sir. Thursday is the semifinals of Next Level Chef. The 5 remaining chefs are tasked with putting a twist on Gordon Ramsay's signature beef Wellington without beef.
How are you feeling about today?
After that, farmers go on their final solo dates on Farmer Wants a Wife.
Hi there, young lady.
Over the weekend, find all new episodes of Animation Domination Sunday, starting with The Simpsons. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of a Red River hog piglet leash training. And he's got a few zoomies there at the Nashville Zoo. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.